Today I want to talk to you about what is happening in the American cultural sector, my thoughts on it, and to offer some advice. Most of my audience is from the United States of America, and I know that many of you are at some point in your career in a gallery, library, archive, or museum, otherwise known as the glam sector. This video is primarily for those working in this sector, but I am begging each and every one of you to please start showing up for your local institutions. These are places of safety for many people, places of community, and they must be protected. This video is also for you. It is undeniable at this point that fascism is rising very quickly in the United States of America, and we are already seeing the impact that this is having on the sector. A few weeks ago, Colleen Shogan, the archivist of the United States, was fired. Exhibitions that are deemed too DEI or too woke are being canceled, and data and records are actively being destroyed. Two of the biggest swings at this sector have come in the last few weeks, with the first being an executive order from Donald Trump and the stupidly named Doge team, in which they moved to completely destroy the Institute of Museum and Library Services, which, if this goes under, it will completely kill funding for numerous local libraries across the country. Additionally, President Trump has ordered the removal of all, quote, improper ideology from the Smithsonian Museum. There was an April Fool's Day article from Hyperallergic, and they said in this satirized article that there was going to be a new museum, the Museum of the American Proud Boys, installed at the National Mall. And I bought it. I believed it, because that really isn't outside of the realm of possibility these days. I should also clarify, as I have to every few videos, that I am Canadian. The US is unfortunately dominating many of our headlines these days, but I am doing what I can and considering what I can do to help support American glam workers and institutions during this time, all while trying to rein in my own rage at the threats against my country's sovereignty. Throughout history, regimes have burned books, destroyed information, and attempted to erase or alter history so that it would fit neatly into their own political goals and ideals. It is important to note that many of these attacks are most often against already marginalized groups, including people of color, women, and members of the LGBTQ+ community. This is real, and it is happening in the United States, and I think it is the moral imperative of everyone working in the glam sector to protect what they can. Throughout history, and in areas of conflict around the world right now, there are people like you and I stashing records away, hiding documents, and saving things so that future generations can learn from them. Some of you are probably already doing this, but I ask that everybody please examine this situation and discern the best way to preserve collections for the future. Technology has come a very long way, and it is much harder to destroy information in the 21st century than it has been in the past. This is the era of the internet, of the portable format document or PDF, and we should exploit this. Today, the books can be burned, but the information can live. We can also disobey. We can say no when we are told to do things that we know are wrong. I want this video to be an open discussion about the power of glam workers and the work that can be done in the wake of rising fascism in the United States of America. We didn't get into this field for the money. We got into this field because we are passionate about humanity, about history, and about truth. So here is my advice. But please feel free to contribute if you feel like you have a piece of wisdom that might be relevant in these trying times. In the wake of these anti-DEI executive orders, information is being stripped from all over the place. Displays honoring transgender soldiers have been removed from at least 2 military history museums, and the Cryptologic Museum has covered plaques celebrating women and people of color. Do not do this. It's unclear if the military museums did this of their own volition, but the National Cryptologic Museum covered their displays on their own initiative. Please do not comply in advance. An executive order is not a law. Do not comply unless you feel unsafe. Continue your programming until the last possible moment. Do not sanitize your materials. Do not take down public displays of history. Engage with your local community. And continue with business as usual. I made a post on my not-so-secret Tumblr account, which I also echoed on Blue Sky, that if you work in the US in one of these sectors and you have the ability to start making copies of materials, you need to start doing so as soon as possible. There are records that are already being purged and destroyed. Use the list of censored words from the National Science Foundation to start a list of items in your collection that you think might be quote-unquote problematic and make copies. If you have art that explores the transgender experience, make a copy. If you have original papers or diaries of a woman in STEM, make a copy. If you have anything related to any minority in the United States of America, do what you can and make a copy. Fill up every gig stick, thumb drive, or external hard drive you can get your hands on. I know that the archival standard is generally these very large TIFF files that take quite a while to create. Throw that standard out the window for now. Make copies that are in a format that are quick to reproduce, legible, and as clear as possible, as we are going for quantity, not quality here, folks. If you have time, please create a file list of everything that is on the hard drive and then put that list on the same hard drive. This will be incredibly useful to anybody working with those materials in the future. Make a list. Once you have filled up an external hard drive or a thumb drive, put it somewhere safe, preferably far away from the originals. And please be very careful about who you tell about these copies. Which brings me to my next point. Do it quietly. Do not announce to the world that you are making these copies or that you are ignoring executive orders. This is good advice for anybody in any sector that is fighting back in their own way. Don't post about it on social media. Don't tell your boss. Tell no one. This can compromise not only the work that you've done and those beautiful copies that you've made, but it can also compromise your safety. Use the internet, whether it's the comment section beneath this video or the Museum Pros subreddit or the Archivist subreddit to brainstorm ideas about how to fight back, but please do so carefully and anonymously. Also, do not give up your personal phones if they demand them. These are very scary times, and I feel like I'm asking a lot. But please do what you can. The regime is threatened by truth. They will do what they can to destroy records and any other evidence of people who have been here all along. If you are not a worker in this sector, there is still work for you to do. Show up and protest. Donate time or money. Write, call, or email your local representative. If you have a piece of advice or some tips and tricks for how to back up certain database systems, or how to best make copies on your phone, or which hard drive brand is the best to use, please sound off in the comments. Let's support one another. I like to believe that I am an inherently positive person, and I do think that we will be okay. I think we're in for some hard times. Find peace and joy where you can. But I do think we will be okay. If you need some inspiration during this time, read about Rose Valland. Read about the monuments men and women that squirreled away art and artifacts and archival materials from the Nazis. Find inspiration where you can. They are trying to erase history. Don't let them. Protect the artifacts and the archival materials that threaten this regime. But please look after yourself. I am with you. Stay strong. Good luck, my friends.